Hi guys, welcome to my channel Vinyl Beauty, or welcome back. I'm Debbie if you don't know me. In today's video we're going to be playing with the Cosmic Brushes Gothic palette for the very first time. Really excited for this. It wasn't quite the colour story I was expecting when they said Gothic. I think a lot of people have said that. I just hadn't envisaged a pretty much purple monochromatic palette, but this is what we got. But it is so beautiful. So we're going to be playing with that today. And you might have noticed I don't use purple very much in my eye look, so this will be a bit different for me. But when I think about it, purple is a very gothic colour. I was just expecting like rich dark reds, emerald greens, maybe navy blue, those sort of shades. But I'm not mad at it. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I don't have anything really that's monochromatic purple like this. So really excited. I've got all the other Cosmic Brushes palettes and really love them. So I've got high expectations that this is going to be really easy to use and fun to create a look with. So if you want to see what kind of look I create, then please keep on watching. Brought you in nice and close. I'm going to show you the palette up close so you can see the variation in tones, because we've got a lot of burgundy in here, which I'm going to kind of do some burgundy and purple in the same look, because yeah, purple's not my absolute favourite to use, so I'm going to mix the two and get a bit more of a varied look out of the palette, I think. But before we do that, we're going to do cheeks together, and I've got something else really exciting to show you. So I picked this up from Lunatick Labs. Now, you guys might know if you've been around here for a while how much I go on about this product, which is the Contour Book 1. I've got both the Contour Books, the 1 and the 2, but this one I use every time I do my makeup. Absolutely love it. And I had my eye on this for a while, and I was like, it's quite expensive to buy in the States. I bought so much makeup, and then I saw it on Attitude Clothing, which is a goth clothing site in the UK, for £20, and I was just like, I jumped on it, got to get it. I think it was 45 initially, so yeah, I've got that to play with. And in the stained glass kind of image there, it's got some of the images of past products that they've had. It's just such cool packaging. And then they're the shades inside. They are face shades. I think they're more so to do colour correcting with, but we're going to use the purple and the pink mixed together as a blush today, and I think that could be really nice for the kind of vibe of the eye look we're going to go for. So I've picked up a bit of each. Yeah, that's exactly the hue that I wanted, because sometimes if you go for just out and out purple, you can end up looking a bit sickly looking. I think it can be a bit too cool tone, but having both of these together, you can vary up the level of pink intensity and the level of purple. So, and also we've got orange and yellow in here, and there's a white, which is always great for a matte white in a corner highlight, or even for highlighting when you don't want to do a highlight that's sparkly. You know, you can highlight with a matte shade on your cheeks if you want to. The only shade I probably wouldn't use is the mint green. I can't see what I might use that for, but as I say, I think the idea of this palette was more so that it was for colour correcting, like under your eyes, as I recall when it came out. It's by no means new, but I've just always liked this brand. Just really love the aesthetics of them. So I've gone pretty heavy with my blush because that's my preference, and then we're going to do highlight together as well. And I've got the frosting palette from Cosmic Brushes, thought we'd use that today. And we're going to use the shade Blueberry Muffin, which has got a bit more of a blue tone, because we've got a green, a pink or a blue, so I think the blue will go the best. And this has got quite a bit of sparkle in the highlight, but yeah, I think that's going to work perfect. Kind of half layered over that blush. And the blush looks a lot at the moment, but once I've got the eye look on, which is going to be quite dramatic and is going to come out to where the blush is, it'll all kind of tie in together, I think. But that blush was a lot more pigmented than I was expecting, because the Contour Book shades aren't all that pigmented, but yeah, I'm really happy with that though. Okay, so onto the palette. I want to do a two-tone crease so we can use both the purple and the more mulberry kind of tones. We're going to start with Phantom on the inner part of my crease, as they fade out to Alter on the outer part. I'm already primed with my MAC Soft Ochre paint pot, and I'm just going to stamp that colour quite high up in my crease. I'm going to keep my eye open while I do it to make sure I've gone up high enough as well, because I never go up high enough. So that's what we're going to do today. As I'm kind of stamping that on, it's blending itself out, which is handy. to bring that all the way down. As I say, I want to do a two-tone crease, but sort of half and half of each. So kind of going to just over the centre, I think, and then we can start trailing out the purple. That's a beautiful winey sort of tone. I'm bringing it right in. I'm going to do one of those extended inner corners with black eyeliner, I think. So I wanted something to paint that onto. Love that shade. See, everyone else has played directly with the purples, and I really wanted to showcase this colour, but then I thought people might be disappointed if I don't play with the purple because it's pretty much of a purple palette. So I thought we'd do both, and I think it's going to work out okay. I'm using a baby version of a Sigma E25, and it's not long enough for me to get to the end of. I like to hold my brushes quite low down, so I'm in danger of dropping it. I think I've gone up high enough. Yeah, that's going to be okay. So now I'm just going to work on just blending the edges a little with the same brush that we've used, now that we've got less product on there. And I'm bringing it quite close to my nose as well. I think that could look interesting, almost like a bit of a nose contour going on. I'll take a tiny bit of this shade Lace just to blend out above that shade. I love this kind of mauvey tone. It's interesting in this palette that even the lighter shades are interesting. Like, you get quite a lot of colourful palettes, if they try and put in a lighter shade, you get a beige, you know, and it's not very exciting. You've seen it a million times, but this has got interesting blending out shades, so I appreciate that. So I really want to go up as high as I can, use as much of my eye space as I can. I'm just going backwards and forwards until I'm happy with how that's blended. That lace shade together with that shimmer would just make such a pretty look on its own. Really, really pretty. So now we're going to use the Ochre shade. I'm going to use an angled brush so I can start the shape off. So I'm going to start in this corner and then bring it across so they join up. I'm just going to turn it that way. Connect up with my lower lash line, but I want to bring it out, not up too much. I want it quite winged out. And we'll sort it out kind of how much it wings out once I've kind of laid a bit of the pigment down. Now I'm taking a very small amount of that and just starting to work that right out, because I want this to be super, super dramatic, but then sort of fading out. This brush is an A504 from PK Beauty's Angie Hot and Flashy set. I'm really getting on quite well with those brushes. Right, so that's about as far out as I want to go, and then I need to start bringing it back to join up now. But that gives me like the guidelines to go by. Sometimes I can do this with tape. I did that in my last video. Just wanted to do it a different way today. I want to make that super opaque in the outside corner here. And I'll say then as we start to fade out, we can fade it out a bit more, and I'll use another colour to blend it. That's a proper pigmented purple though, and we're getting a lot of opacity and very, very minimal fallout, so that's a good purple in my book. I don't know why it is that I don't play with purple very much, but it never really appeals to me as much as other colours. It's not like I don't like it, like blues, I struggle with blue. Like, I like murky, deep blues. I like, I don't know, midnight kind of coloured blues, but I don't like summery kind of pastel-y blues at all. And with purple I don't really like lilac-y purples either, but this is a nice deep purple, so I'm enjoying this one. Problem I have in this outer corner here, which you wouldn't have if you weren't as old as me, is this is where all my lines are, so when I try and flick that out, it kind of like gives me like a jagged edge. So I need to almost like straighten my skin, which is probably giving me more wrinkles, but to get that full opacity. But I hear people say you can't wear dramatic makeup when you get older, and I think they mean from a point of view like you're too old to do it, you know, you should be in your beige era by the time you're 40. But I think you could wear anything you want to at whatever age you are, but it just gets a lot more tricky to pull it off because you need better skills, because you've got an older canvas to work on, you know. It's not so easy, but it's definitely doable. We've got those two colours touching. It's going to start getting a blend between the two there. Now I want to brush with no product at all and just start working on diffusing this where we've pulled it out. Just so it sort of almost fades into nothing as it goes out towards my hairline. And I don't think we need another shade to blend that out. It's sort of blending itself, which is absolutely fine. Really smoky, but blended out, as I say, towards the hairline. Okay, now we've blended that out, we've lost a bit of the opacity. So I'm going to go back in and start packing just in this outer part here, just to make sure we've still kept that opacity before it starts swinging out. So it's a backwards and forwards until we've kept the pigment but got it to look blended. In the inner part of my lower lash line, I want to use that same Phantom shade that we started with on the upper lid, or on the upper crease. I'm just going to buff that along and meet it up here. And then just with a little bit of that lace shade, mauvey tone shade, just buffing underneath that. Okay, super dark and dramatic, but now I think we'll do the brow bone highlight next. I want to use that obscure shade, which is a really shifty, beautiful pinky purple to white. I'm going to just pop that on my brow bone. Just want a very, very tiny amount of that there. Just so that we've just got a little flash of like shine as I turn my head there. Don't know if you can see that. It's one of those like topper shades that works really well over any other shade. It looked lovely, just packed all the way over the top of like that first shade we used, the Phantom shade. It's quite magical and transformative. Probably used a bit more of it than I planned to, but I need to do the same on this side now to make it the same. But it's so pretty. And I'm going to go with glitter primer all over the lid. I find the shimmers from Cosmic Brushes to be quite emollient, so not putting too much glitter primer on so that we don't get too much creasing, because they do crease on me if I'm not careful. There's kind of a premium amount to put on of glitter primer where it has the opposite effect of what you're trying to achieve if you're not careful. I'm trying to get a sort of round shape there so that all of this is shimmer. I'm trying to make as much space for the shimmer as possible. For the shimmer, I'm going to use that shade Chosen pretty much all over the lid. I think it's so, so beautiful. It's a duochrome, and I think the duochromes, you need to give them their moment. So yeah, we're just going to put that one all over the lid, and maybe just that one just towards the inner part. Yeah, that's a magical shifty shade. You don't need too many colours when you're playing with multi-chromes. I think that's where I've gone wrong with multi-chromes before, in trying to like put 10 different shades of multi-chrome on your eyes. You know, it's the idea of multi-chrome is it's already got lots of shift, so you don't need multiple shades to make that shift happen. And this is interesting because this shade is more like goldy toned, and then I've got the more silvery one going on the brow bone. That's really, really pretty. Just to make it slightly more opaque, I'm going to do something I never do and go in with my finger just to see if that will just amp up the opacity just a little. Oh, it definitely does. Definitely does. I just find it awkward because you can't be so precise, but because I've been precise with the brush, I think it's okay. Just on this very outer part where it meets the purple, I'm going to go in with the shade Powerful, this purple shimmer, just to help give us a tiny little bridge between the pinky goldiness of that shimmer on the lid and the purple in the outer corner. I was going to use that shade, don't think I need to. So I'm just going to hop off camera for some finishing touches. I'm probably going to do black in my waterline, I think, and a bit of an extended inner corner wing and a lip, and I'll be back with you to show you the finished look. Okay guys, so this is the finished look, and I think we've achieved Gothic, don't you agree? I really wanted to prove that you could make a really dark and mysterious and gothy, vampy look with this palette, because purple is such a goth colour. And I know a lot of people, as I say, were disappointed when they saw the reveal of the colours in the inside, but yeah, I think this screams goth actually. And maybe it's nice that we haven't got reds and blacks and silvers and all the things you might expect, but we've got more purples, as I say, because purple is definitely a goth tone. But I love how simple the artwork is on the outside. I love that we've stuck to the shape, although we've only got 12 shades instead of the normal 20. And that it's cardboard, and I love that we've got the variety of tones, so you can go a lot more warmer with the more mulberry red, or you can bring in the cooler tone purples, or those warmer tone of purple there. You've got those mattes with sparkles, which would look beautiful packed all over the lid as a smoky eye. But if you wanted to do something a little bit more lighter in tone, you can, because you've got shades like Lace. I love the tone of that one. That sort of shade is just so beautiful in the crease, I think, just as a neutral eye, and then say Pale Moon over the top. I love that we've got one of those like iridescent topper shades, because that gives you a lot of versatility. So there's a lot going for this palette, and it was £22, and the formula is incredible. To finish off the look, I've just gone with a black eyeliner in my waterline. I've done a wing with the Ghostface liner. You can't see it because it's kind of hidden in all of this purple, but I've kind of extended the inner corner just slightly with that. Love that liner so much. If you haven't watched my Ghostface video, then I urge you to watch that. This is one of the best products in that collection, surprisingly, but I love everything in that collection, but this is so good. For my lips today, I've gone in with a really old one. It's by Melt. It's called by Starlight, and I wanted a cool tone rich purple. It's the only one really that fits the bill in my collection, because a lot of purples have a bit of warmth to them, but this is out and out like cool tone rich dark purple, which is just what I was looking for this look. I didn't want to go black. I've done quite a few looks with black lipstick, and I just wanted something that still screamed goth, but it was purple, and I think this one definitely fits the bill. Had a lot of fun playing with this one. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it, and I hope maybe it might have inspired you for some looks you can do with this, because a lot of the people that I've seen review it, no disrespect to them, but they don't do deep dark dramatic looks like this. With the exception of Missa. Make Me Up Missa did an incredible look with this. I mean, she's amazingly talented. I'll link that video if you want to see it, if you don't know who I'm talking about, because she's just beyond talented. But mostly everyone else has done quite safe looks with it, I think, and I think this is a sort of palette to really go dramatic with. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing me do that. But that's all I've got for you in this video, guys. I hope you might consider subscribing before you go. But other than that, I hope you're having a lovely day or night wherever you are, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye guys.